After the Royal Merchant, El Dorado, and now Blackbeard's treasure, there's only a few days left before part 2 of Outer Banks comes out, and we need to talk about part 1. Welcome back to the channel, here at Jacobite Games. Now, after recent treasure hunts, does Season 4 hold up so far? Does it hold the same vibe? Absolutely. I think so. I'm glad the Pogues are back. We're getting more crazy adventures and crazy drama between the main crew and everyone around them. Now, recently we just got the Season 4 Part 2 trailer, and I'm stoked to watch it, which is what we're going to do in just a few minutes. But I want to talk about Part 1 first because I binged the shit out of it, and I couldn't stop watching. I wanted to cover each episode, but just couldn't. I'm a binger through and through. When I watch one thing, I gotta watch what happens next. Maybe that's my demise. Who knows? But we're gonna find out. I don't think I'm gonna change. One thing about this show that I really, really enjoy is that it just really heavily involved in treasure hunting, adventures, historical mysteries, and lores, and I'm all here for it. Two of my favorite things among many things. It's The Goonies, and my favorite video game franchise, Uncharted. The Goonies, following the treasure of One-Eyed Willie, the Uncharted series, going from a couple of historical events or lores and locations and treasure. El Dorado, similar to Outer Banks, Shambhala, Iram of the Pillars, and Libertalia, the pirate colony. These are just a few things I am super invested in and would love to cover at some point because it's my favorite game and because I love a good old adventure. And I'm a little bit of a history buff with absolutely zero knowledge of many things. But back to part 1. Here's my top 5 favorite moments, one moment from every single episode so far, before we get into part 2. In episode 1, one of my favorite parts was when they were finally recognized for what they have done. What their discoveries, the treasure they found, El Dorado. They were absolutely excited. The money that they got. JJ was able to buy his land. They were able to build their fishing shack. They got a standing ovation by everybody in the town. It was one of those heartfelt moments, and you felt excited for them that everything they had done so far has finally been seen, recognized. I mean, it looks like Kiara's family was happy. Oh my God. They're never happy, are they? Well, for that moment, they were. It was the one instance that everything just seemed to feel calm, cool, and collected and normal. But that's soon not to be the case. One of my favorite moments in episode 2 was when they finally got to where the sunken ship was. Late at night, JJ and Kiara go down into the ocean to find the amulet. Now, they do end up finding it, but this whole scene was so stressful and so action-packed because then they were met with Lightner, one of the mercenary villains that are trying to get the amulet for himself and his crew. You know, after losing all the money, payments are due for the shack and the land, and now having to earn that money back through a new adventure. Here they are at the first grasp of that adventure, struggling to fight Lightner and end up needing to get to surface as soon as possible. It's the build-up to something more, for them to push even further, to get either the amulet back or to get one step further, to be ahead of the villains. It was stressful, action-packed, and I loved it. Episode 3. One of my favorite moments from episode 3 was when Shoop was interrogating the Pogues at the Generate Mansion. Now, this is after they found out that Generate West died. And now who could have done it, or who could have been involved, or who could have just somehow had some kind of ties to it? The Pogues. This scene here was just super funny, and it was right off the bat, right at the beginning of that episode. So to see this coming into this episode, it was hilarious. The camaraderie from both of them, the wittiness from the crew to Shoop, and just the way Shoop knows them so well and reacts to how they're acting. I just found it super hilarious, and I think it was just well needed. All this high intense drama happening, and the episode just starts off with this. And big shout out to some of the new characters that we see in part 1. Some of them might be familiar faces to you, but here's a couple that I have noticed from one of my other favorite shows, The Walking Dead. Dalia, who seems to be part of the villains, don't know exactly her role, but she seems like a leader. But she also plays Jadis, the garbage lady. And then we have Dario, who is Sophia's dad, who played one of the prisoners in The Walking Dead. And then we have a very, very brief cameo of Tyler Crispin for all you Big Brother The Challenge fans out there. Guilty pleasure, what can I say? Episode 4. Now, before we get into the top moment of episode 4, RIP to the turtle. That whole scene was one of the most frustrating scenes I've seen in this part 1 so far. I felt every bit of anger that Kiara and JJ were feeling. I mean, the whole Pogue were all feeling the same thing. I would have chose violence. But to the biggest moment in episode 4 was the loss of Captain Terrence. Now, this whole scene was again stressful. We witness Pope with the amulet trying to get to Cleo and Captain Terrence to hopefully save them from Lightner, who basically has them at gunpoint, saying, if you don't give me the amulet, these two are done for. Well, Captain Terrence takes down, at least tries, take down Lightner, and Lightner shoots. It is a devastating loss. I mean, he is a reoccurring character. He meant a lot to Cleo. It broke my heart to see her fall apart like that. It's rough. He was like a father to her. But with that comes another loss. Lightner had taken the amulet. So again, this is just one of those big moments that I feel like failure has occurred to the Pogues. What can they do next? I mean, the next best thing is to, and we've seen them do it before, but find a way to get one step ahead of the villains. Last but not least, episode 5, the last episode of part 1. Now, I couldn't decide on just one big moment. There was many for this part 1 finale. But to break it down to 2 parts that I found as like big moments was when John B were in the cemetery. After Lightner attacking Cleo, John B takes his gun and points it at Lightner. And then we get that flashback with John B and his dad, Big John. This moment hit hard. I mean, you can see it in John B's eyes. Looking back at that memory, he knew instantly that this is not what he needs to do. He does not want to become his dad. And this was he always didn't want to become his dad, no matter how much he loved his dad and cherished his dad and missed his dad and how much he actually meant to him. He just didn't want to become him, didn't want the treasure hunt to consume him. And here he is at a crossroads, so close to the edge. This was an emotional scene. The second biggest part, I think we can all agree, is JJ's biological family, where he finds his adopted dad. He basically tells him, your mom is Jennerette, the one who died, and your dad, I'm sure you can guess who that is. This scene here was absolutely intense. I did not see that coming. I mean, okay, near the beginning of the part 1, there was a few instances where I was like, JJ's super tied into this somehow. It's very clear. Like Wes Jennerette was zooming in on JJ in that picture on his computer, and it just seemed that JJ had something to do with this. But I didn't see the bigger picture here. JJ directly tied to the villain of this whole season. Absolutely insane. This show's got daddy issues swarmed around it. Man, everybody's dad's just fucked, man. Okay, enough of the review. I loved part 1. Now here's the trailer for part 2. Oh, shit. All right, here we go.
Home. All of us, we made a home. Now, it's all on the line.
Yeah, it's all on the line because, God damn it, JJ. It's all on the line. Because do you know how much money they had? Do you know how much money they had? I have it written down here because it's a big fucking number. I couldn't remember it. It's $1.1 million. $72,549. And it's all gone. Okay, the clubhouse is cool, though. The surf shop is dope. The fishing shop, whatever you want to call it, is cool. God damn, dude. Yeah, you're right. It's all on the line.
The question is, What would we risk to protect it?
Let's really light it up.
JJ.
Broke again. Chased by killers.
Maybe you could find like one positive thing.
You're all in danger.
Okay, so the positive thing, what Sarah Cameron was saying. Man, John B. and Sarah, they're good. They're good. No issues. No issues. And I love it. I absolutely love it. It's dope. It's good. It's good to see. It's good to see, finally.
You're here. That crown, I'm looking for it just like you are. I know where it is.
Where?
Morocco.
Now I can be down for a little Moroccan vacay.
Morocco.
Let's do the shit. I don't want any part of your little treasure hunt. I get you to North Africa, I get my cut. Deal?
Yo, yes, JJ, hit Rafe. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. What do you mean, Rafe, you don't want anything to do with no treasure hunt? Come on, this is the only reason why we're here. Well, I mean, there's a few other ones, but man, Blackbeard's treasure? Let's go.
I mean, honestly, if he didn't do it, I was going to do it.
Yeah, Pope.
You've dug this hole as deep as it can get. I have a right to fight for what's mine.
We're gonna figure.
Okay, but is JJ talking about what's his? Are we gonna keep beating around the bush here? Because I mean, that end revealing of the last episode where JJ finally finds out who his parents are. I mean, he's owed a lot. I mean, he is, I think, more rich than he knows. What anybody knows, from my understanding. I mean, pretty sure the island is his, right?
This out. We always do.
What are we gonna do?
We get even.
See, that's the kind of shit that scares the shit out of me. Sarah ain't dying. No. We're finally good. Sarah and John B are good. I mean, if this show ever ends, no more treasure hunting. Just chill. Just chill. Have a family. Live a happy, long life together. November 7th. God damn, dude. Well, shit. That's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on in that trailer. I'm saying this right now. Nothing can happen to Sarah. Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us. JJ looks like he's fucking going crazy. Morocco. Rafe's helping them. There's a lot going on, and I'm so stoked for it. In the comments, let me know what you guys want from this next part of the season 4. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Do you have any theories? Let me know. Before you do that, hit that like, hit that sub, because we got some more Outer Banks to talk about. Because as we know right now, season 5 has been confirmed for one last season. All right, November 7th. There we go. We'll catch you when it comes out. Take it easy. P4L.